Well, this is the all-new Mahindra 3XO. It's the first time ever, in India at least, that someone has not only given the car a facelift, but also given a facelift to the name. Yes, this car used to be called the XUV 300. The silhouette is identical from the side, but the front end and the rear end gets a very dramatic change. Now you get this huge beam of light, of course, projected in the top, and you also get the fog lamps here, and of course, a very different grille. There's a C element over here, which has daytime running lamps across it. But what do you think of the looks? I think Mahindra has overdone the looks of this car, at least from the front. The rear end looks very stylish, but the front, I think it's a little too dramatic, over dramatic rather. But I think that a lot of people these days prefer cars which have a very striking and a very bold look. And that way, this car definitely stands out from a sea of other compact SUVs. Now, the changes on the side, you get new 17-inch wheels in place of 16-inch wheels. But apart from that, the silhouette is more or less the same from the side profile. Now we'll flip the car around and show you the rear, and then talk about the rear, and then get inside and tell you about the changes. The prices of this car start from 7.5 lakh rupees, which makes it exceptional value for money. And also, even the base version gets disc brakes as well as 6 airbags. And of course, the top of the line version gets this ADAS suite with all the cameras and sensors. And that's not all. You also get the biggest sunroof in the segment, along with a host of other features. So if you want to know more about this car, all its features, how it's to drive, the space and stuff like that, stay tuned to this channel right till the end. And if you come here for the first time, then please like, share and subscribe. You also get this very well sculpted bumper. So it's a very heavily remodified face, power creases over here as well. But what do you think of the looks? I personally don't really like the aggressive stance of this car. It doesn't really have that same cohesive look that the early version had. But to each his own. I think a lot of people love aggressive looking cars, and a lot of you who enjoy these aggressive designs will definitely think that this is a good looking car. But as I said, the previous generation with those square and boxy lamps had that essential SUV factor. Anyways, let's move on to the side. Now, if you move onto the side, you'll see these new wheels. These are 17 inches. The earlier version was 16 inches. So these should improve the grip levels as well as improve the ride quality. And the rear end is the big difference, because side profile is more or less the same. They haven't changed much on the side, but the rear end has a small, not a small, but a massive change as well. And that, of course, is that you now get this huge connected design for the beams. And of course, again, C-section carried out from the front. The C-section theme from the front is also carried at the back. And of course, very heavily sculpted bumper at the back as well. And of course, this huge branding of XUV 3XO over here, and AX7L, which is the variant, is also written over here. So these are the big changes. What do you think of the looks? The back end definitely, I think, is more appealing, but the front end isn't as cohesive as the boxy design of the previous version of the car. You can let me know what you think. Now, since I am here at the end, I'll also show you the boot, which we didn't show you earlier. Now, since I'm over here at the back end of the car, let me show you the boot as well. Now, this has been the biggest agile heel of this car, 295 liters, which is the smallest boot in its segment. And all the cars, including the Sonnet, the Nexon, as well as the Brezza, and even the Venue, has bigger boots than this car. They all have bigger boots. So that's one area where this car is slightly behind its rivals. Also, there's a huge loading sill, so you'll have to really use your back to put in those big bags and boxes and remove them. It's not a slide in and slide out kind of affair. But I think that for regular weekend getaways, or maybe 3 or 4 days up the hills, you can easily accommodate 3 large pieces of suitcase and maybe 1 small suitcase, or maybe 2 super large suitcases and 1 small one. So it is quite okay in isolation. But yes, since we are comparing these cars or talking about its rivals, it is slightly behind. Anyways, that's about the exteriors and the boot. Let's jump inside and show you how the interiors are and what have been the new changes. Well, so the first thing that I told myself as soon as I entered the cabin of this car is, well, I didn't tell myself anything. I had to pinch myself and I asked myself, is this really a compact SUV? Because the features on this car can actually outclass and outshine some mid-size SUV. It really is that good. For example, you get dual zone climate control on this car, which is something you don't get on a lot of mid-size SUVs. You also get different driving modes, which you don't get on a lot of other mid-size SUVs. You also get ADAS level 2, which is something again missing on a lot of mid-size SUVs. And of course, completely digital dials, which again is missing on a lot of mid-size SUVs. Automatic headlamps as well, and electric parking brake with auto hold function. Again, things which some of those mid-size SUVs miss out on. So really, in terms of the value for money quotient, this car is top class. You also, of course, get a big Harman sound system, and of course, this touchscreen is quite good. It is a 10-inch touchscreen, which really is good. The only negative is that the rear view camera isn't the best in terms of the visibility here. The definition isn't very high, so it could have been improved. But other than that minor irritant, it really is packed. It really is packed. Technology is there, the features are there, and the quality also is generally very good. Very good plastics all across. Some on the lower part can be better, but overall large windows, and as I said, it outclasses not only compact SUVs but also mid-size SUVs when it comes to pure space as well as features up ahead. Let's jump in the back seat and see how good that really is. Well, so I'm in the back seat of the 3XO, and if your primary objective is to be sitting in the back seat and you want a compact SUV to offer you the best amount of space as well as comfort, then this car is second to none. Yes, knee room is available in the loads, headroom also is quite generous, and it's generally a wide cut at the back, which means that you can easily have 3 occupants over here. Now you do get 3 headrests as well, which is good in terms of safety, and you also get a big armrest where you can keep a couple of beverages for those long distance journeys. Windows are nice and large, so you never feel claustrophobic, and of course you have a huge sunroof which goes all the way till here. So if you open it up at night, you will definitely feel very cool and very classy. Inside this cabin, couple of AC vents, USB Type-C, and 12-volt charging, as well as a big place to keep your cell phone, and of course big pockets at the back as well. In short, what I'm trying to say is that this is the best car in terms of space, comfort, as well as an opulent feel. Now these off-white seats, they really do look cool, and they offer you, a sense of airiness inside the cabin, but there's a negative as well. They can rather soil easily. So if you're someone who always has sweaty passengers inside the car, your kids from school, they always keep coming after playing, then you'll have some very heavy dry cleaning bills, but they look very good and they have a very positive vibe inside the cabin. Back seat gets a good score of 9 out of 10. Well, so here I'm driving the Mahindra 3XO. Yes, this is a 3XO, and I have to say that whichever engine you choose, you could choose the petrol, you could choose the diesel, whichever one you decide to choose. Ultimately, the refinement levels on this car are very good, especially on the petrol. And Mahindra engineers have worked on the overall chassis, they've worked on the sound deadening material, and they've made a lot of improvements on this car. It really is a very well improved package. Even if you drive it hard, you might take it up to 4,000 RPM, 4,500 RPM. Even then, it remains a very quiet cabin to be in, very peaceful to sit inside this cabin, and even the city driving this car is a very easy breezy affair. The reason for that, of course, is that the controls of this car are very light. Yes, you can talk about the steering control, you can talk about the gearbox, the clutch, all the actions are very light, and of course you can also choose the automatic version that I'm driving at the moment. The gear shifts are decent in this version as well, and I have to say that it doesn't really matter which engine you choose. The refinement of this car really makes you feel like you can go on those long distance journeys without any fuss whatsoever. So that department also is taken care of, it's sorted, and you'll really enjoy the overall experience of this car. What you will also really appreciate about this car is the ride comfort. The ride really is very good. Slow city ride, even fast highway speeds, all of these things are taken care of, and you don't really have any issues whatsoever with these things as well. The ride comfort is good. I think it's one of the best cars in the segment for ride comfort. Now the steering wheel is ultra light on this car, so that's something that you'll have to be a little careful about, and that is something that some buyers will say, well, other cars offer you better driving pleasure, but that is give and take. Some people prefer lighter steering wheels, some people prefer slightly heavier steering wheels. It really depends on what you want and what your take is in that department. Well, so what's my final verdict with this 3XO? I have to say that the Mahindra XUV 3XO has always been one of my favorite compact SUVs. It's always been a great car for keen drivers. It's always been a great car for people in the back. It's always been a good car in terms of features as well as the build quality. And with this one, Mahindra definitely has taken the game one notch up. The features are excellent, the backseat experience is really good, and of course the drive experience also is generally very good, and the pricing is really the icing on the cake now. Yes, the new prices make this car a very compelling buy. So if you're in the market for a compact SUV and you're planning to buy your first or your second compact SUV, then this car is a very worthy buy. Definitely go to Mahindra dealership, check it out, and I'm sure you'll be just as impressed with it as I've been today. I'll give it a strong score of 92 out of 100. So bye for now, and thanks so much for watching this video. Bye for now, and thanks so much for watching this video.